had a nice camp spot and I'm sitting there, I've just had something to eat and a brown snake comes around the corner of my tent. I've never moved so fast in my life. So and the snake moves pretty bloody quickly as well, I can tell you. Thankfully in the opposite direction.
Can
So
I say though, when you think that you've got a snake, so for those that aren't in Australia, you get taught that you're meant to freeze, right? Because a lot of the Australian snakes are attracted to movement. So you go, I'm going to freeze, and you get taught that's what you're meant to do, freeze. When that flight kicks in, you've got no control. And I was a flighter the first time I saw a snake. I was out of there. It was like one of those cartoons. There was dust. Dust in my wake, I can tell you. And I'm not a runner. I think I broke every land speed record. So I can completely understand that you saw this brown snake in the middle of nowhere and you got out of there.
Because I just was not expecting when it comes round the thing. You know, the other ones that we'd seen in Kosciuszko, one, I had people with me who I trusted who would sort of, and, you know, we'd walk past them carefully and it was fine. But this was very friggin' close. So I'm then freaking out, right? Well, I don't know if it's gone under my tent. I didn't see where it went because I was going in the opposite direction. Luckily, some guys come down. I think they're gone fishing or something. And I do the whole damsel in distress. I'm like, there was a snake. Hail, hail. So they come over.
Look,
and I'm like,
I'm all for damsel in distress when it suits. And I think that is an absolutely valid time to be a damsel in distress.
Like, bless them, they came over and they were a little bit cautious. And so I got my paddle and lifted my tent up. I was like, no, it's gone. And then they point out, it's like, oh, the thing is where you are. So we had a dust track down to the river between some trees and then there was a slope coming down to where the tent was. He said, it's a bit of a thoroughfare. They come down at night to go and get some water from the river and come back. And then, of course, my tent is a bit like a safety thing for them to go around rather than being in open space. They were going to come next to my tent. So it's like, oh, brilliant. So then I go into my tent and like seal it up and sweat like a bastard because it's the middle of summer and it's hot. And I'm like, this is the worst Christmas day ever.
Why move the tent?
Oh, I think they would still have potentially come down. I just didn't want, not happy. Really not happy. I'm really questioning it. The vlog I did that day is quite entertaining. Back at it and I do laugh. And I was so miserable. Anyway, so I'd said to myself, so you cannot back down until you get to the Hume Dam and see what it's like the other side and see if they're letting any water through. And luckily, once I got to the Hume, they were letting a bit of water. And so then it's like, okay, I'll keep going. And then I was able to do, 50, 60, 70 Ks a day and feel like I was making progress. It was just that not making progress it did my head in.